All right, my friends, how are you today? It is Thursday, the 5th of March. Happy birthday to my sister Renee. All right, Thursday. We got the moon moving to the middle degrees of Cancer. So the moon is home, very comforting, very natural, diving deeper into our emotions, right? And it's going to start opposing Jupiter and Pluto today. And then Saturn early in the morning tomorrow. We've got the sun also going to trine to the moon today. Okay, really, really powerful. Okay, it's an emotional need with a sense of self, who we are. You know, again, with the sign of Pisces, we're not talking about our physical characteristics. You know, the earth signs are very practical. It's the physical world, all this Capricorn energy, again, the physical world, right? And in the water signs, we're dealing with, Cancer would be my emotions, okay? My nurturing sense of self, my compassionate, empathetic sense of self. In Scorpio, we have our drive of passion, okay? Again, an unseen force. And then in Pisces, it's like our conscious or unconscious mind, our connection with source, spirituality, right? So we have this beautiful connection with the sun and the moon, highlighting our emotional self, our non-physical self. Again, recognizing there's things coming to completion. We're completing the solar year, the zodiac year, right? We're moving closer and closer to spring, starting the new. We're ending the Mercury retrograde. It finally caught up with me today. It killed one of my microphones. Technology, right? As soon as Mercury moved into the sign of Aquarius, technology, one of my microphones just fizzled out. Done. Anyway, so we're coming to the end of this Mercury retrograde. We're coming to the end of something in our lives, okay? Which is the ending of something is always the beginning of something else. Okay, which is very powerful. So it's a very powerful time, again, going internal right now, recognizing our internal non-physical body, okay, and honoring that, honoring this time of closure, honoring this time of completion, honoring this time of searching deeper within ourselves, deeper within our soul, of what this soul needs, of what this spirit needs, yeah, what our emotional body needs. And it's cool, too, to look at, right, the sun creating, what time is this going to happen? 3 a.m. Okay, so it's nice and early in the morning that this happens. We'll all be sleeping. But not necessarily. not necessarily at all. And again, depending on where you're at in the world, this could be midnight for my friends over in LA, and even earlier for my friends over there in Hawaii. So at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the sun and the moon are going to create this trine. And empathy is the key here, right? And there's three different kinds of empathy, okay? There's cognitive empathy, okay, which is about understanding air signs, okay? So it's understanding somebody, being easily relatable, having a conversation and being on the same page with someone. Then there's emotional empathy, right? Which of course deals with our emotional body. We can feel. There's that sense of intuition, there's a sense of connection that's deeper than just the words that we're using to relate to one another. And then there's empathetic concern, okay, which goes beyond, which kind of combines both and goes beyond. And all three are extremely important right now, especially having empathetic concern, truly caring for someone. If you pass somebody on the street and they're struggling, usually it's about how much time we have if we're willing to help them out, depending on the situation. But having concern, let's erase or negate the passing a person on the street. But really being able to connect with someone verbally, connecting with someone mentally, connecting with someone emotionally, and then being there for them and saying, how can I be of assistance to you in life? How can you be of assistance to me in life? Can we connect on all three of these levels and be there for one another, right? Hand in hand, we cross the river together. We bring each other up. We empower one another, by being empathetic, by being caring, by being nurturing. And Venus as well just freshly moved into her home sign of Taurus. Okay. And Mercury retrograde, these are still creating, Mercury in Aquarius, these are still creating a sextile. Okay. Now, which is interesting because usually a sextile is what? Water and earth, or fire and air. But these two are so close to the cusp still that they're creating an air and earth sextile. So these are two different energies that are creating one another. Okay. Now, during this compassionate time for ourselves, during this time where we're learning to be the boss, the ruler of our reality, learning to pick ourselves up, to reach our objectives, to get to our goals, to figure out wherever we're going in life, and the drive and force to make that happen, the expansion of our physical bodies, of our minds manifesting here in Capricorn, a transformation of self, and a restructuring of self during this time of reeing and retrograding, and especially with technology and Venus creating this sextile. There can be a need, like we talked a bit about yesterday, to be on our devices, our computers or our cell phones, more than we're connecting here with people. So this is the universe balancing us out right now, reminding us again to be very mindful of the other individuals the best that we can. And as well, during this retrograde, to not fill a hole with material goods, things that we want, love, and desire of the materialistic world that we think are going to help us right now. Where this is a more time to be internal. That's what the moon and the sun are showing us. That's what the North Node is telling us. That's what the South Node here in Capricorn is saying, a little bit less materialistic as well. Uranus, the planet of breakthrough, in the sign of money and material possessions and things. Reminding us again, it's just like going back, Native Americans or old Vikings or whatever it may be, what individuals had during these times, what is necessary for us to have during these times, what is an absolute, technology is an absolute blessing. Again, we are in the age of Aquarius. It's an absolute blessing to have all of the information at our fingertips. It's amazing to have a computer in your pocket, you can be out in the world and be able to access your email account and make business deals while sipping a coffee at a Starbucks or eating some soup someplace. I don't know. So these are advantages. But and Amazon is a conglomerate of Amazon, being able to order a package and have it delivered next day. Oh, this is going to help my life. This is going to make me, a more convenient part of life, or more, and certainly these things can be absolutely true. But this energy is the universe putting us in check, saying, well, what do you need? What do you need right now? And again, highlighting the emotional part of our chart. It's saying we need to have communication. We need to have contact with people. We need to go with inside of ourselves to seek the answers, again, opposed to looking outside or by distraction is like the key here to this Thursday, by being distracted by playing Candy Crush or Wordscape or whatever on your phone to pass the time, but to truly sit with self and just appreciate, the vehicle that you're driving down the road, or appreciate the stillness, or appreciate, boredom. Boredom is if you're sitting there and you're not distracted with the phone, your boredom turns into, I need to do something, but if we're being distracted by the electronics, television, or whatever it may be, our boredom or our sense of stillness is a necessary part of our life. And then furthermore creates objectives, You know, like, well, I need to do something with my time. I need to be more productive. And that's certainly what Mars is telling us up there in Capricorn. I need to be productive. I need to do something that's good for me. That's good for my life. That's good for my future goals. That's good for my career. That's good for my public image. You know, 10th house kind of stuff. And then the moon, again, kind of opposing these energies in the morning throughout the afternoon, is about balance. Balancing these things. How can I do these things and be more emotionally grounded and thinking about small business opposed to big business, in a sense? You know what I mean? Again, nothing wrong with big business. There's nothing wrong with Wall Street, but this is taking a Main Street mom and pop approach where we're thinking globally and acting locally, right? I love that expression because it's so true, and it's very true for our times here in the age of Aquarius and where we're at. And Mercury being in Aquarius as well, creating this connection over here to Venus. The things we love, want, and desire. You know, they're obtainable. All things are obtainable. And soon Venus is going to start to trine, you know, as the month moves on, all of this energy to Mars, to Jupiter, to Saturn and Pluto. Saturn's going to be a little bit later. That's going to happen in Aquarius and Gemini. Anyway, you know, being practical, being useful with our time and creating something with ourselves, you know, sitting down, painting a picture or reading a book. Oh my God, just reading a book instead of, I don't know. I don't want to tell you how to live your day. Just pointing out, you know, the astrological stuff of what's going on right now. And it's being practical, being caring, being internal, you know, understanding that it's not this technology that's going to fill this hole, that it's actually doing something with our time. Yeah. And even if that is just sitting with oneself in meditation, can be very, very powerful on a day like today. Right? Yeah. So, happy Thursday, my friends. As always, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And we'll see you tomorrow.